Hello, this video is an intro to SOS 3312 by Smalley, basically how the course is going to work. So hopefully this will help clear up any issues. Obviously you can contact me if it doesn't, but let me just kind of run through a few things here and show you. So I just kind of already have gone into Blackboard and gone into the course. So I skipped those steps. Now I'm over here in course content. Now let's take a look at the syllabus. Let's see what that's all about. I'll just kind of hit the highlights here. Book, you don't need a textbook. I'll talk about that here in a minute. I'm not going to really read all this. Now there's mention right here if you have wanted to go to the downtown campus for assistance. You can make an appointment with me at the Northwest campus, but downtown has that math and stat tutoring lab that's available. I put Monday through Thursday, but they also have some Friday hours and some Saturday hours. I'm not sure why I don't have both of those on there, but that's okay. Blackboard, that will be, of course, my primary means of providing information for you, whether it's the course content that's already there, plus any announcements. So you should check in pretty regularly. I say every once in a while, pretty regularly, to see if I've made any important announcements. Since we don't meet face to face, in this online class, that's going to be the primary method of communication. Now, speaking of which, let me go back up here. Blackboard messages or email is the best way to contact me. Phone's not that good, but I have to provide a phone number. I'm at the Lone Star College, University Park campus. Much better if you email me, send me emails. So, because the problem is the phone, I would only call back when I'm on campus. I don't call back from my cell phone or anything like that. So, but if you wanted to meet sometime, the best thing to do is send me a message. Then we can set up a meeting time. These office hours aren't exactly right either. So if you do want to meet with me, it's best if we go with the by appointment method. All right, back down here. Grade. Pretty straightforward, equally weighted grading scale. Now you've got exam 1, exam 2, exam 3, all take-home exams, an Excel assignment, that's mandatory. It's not that bad. And then what you can do is, so if you're, after those 4 things are completed, and if you're, satisfied with what you have, as far as an average and a grade, you can stop there. The final exam, there's a final exam available, but it's only optional, and it can be used to replace the lowest of the 3 exams, but not the Excel assignment. So everything's worth the same amount. So you could, be done, and if you don't want to take the final, then you don't have to. Exams will be multiple choice, and in Blackboard, I will show you those. I said 2 or 3 day window. They're actually like a 6-day window. Excel assignment, that's not going to be something you have to worry about until the end of the semester, because it's going to cover content throughout the entire course. So it's not something you have to worry about now. I'll talk more about that shortly. All right, let's kind of look down here. Just some other stuff, extra credit. There's no extra credit. But you put in the proper work, you'll do all right. Oh, there's the tutoring there. Okay, yeah. 8 to 2 and on Friday, also on 11 to 5 on Saturday. So it's correct there. I don't know why I have it wrong earlier. And the rest of this is just kind of standard stuff we have to put. All right, no problem. That's the syllabus. So let's take a look. Let me take you over here let's go back to course content. I just have this optional course calendar. You don't have to follow this rigidly. It's just to kind of space out the content throughout the semester just to see, it's not. But you see, it kind of leads up then over here to the right when the exam date window is going to be. So that's just, that's just strictly to maybe help you keep pace more than anything else. But, I mean, so obviously other things come up and you might get behind one week and then you do a little extra the next week. That's certainly nothing wrong with that. So, but obviously you don't want to wait till right before the test to start studying anything. So over here to the right, I have when the exams are going to be available, which we'll go look at those in a minute, but it'll open up usually at 7 a.m. on that first morning, and then it closes at 11:59 p.m. on those days. So I kind of put review for exam 1, meaning you're just kind of reviewing yourself, and then here's the dates. Here we go, blah, blah, blah. Technically, the course ends, except for finals, during Thanksgiving week. That's pretty much it. So there's no content or anything that needs to be done that week. I'll probably give you extra time to work on that Excel assignment. Obviously, I'll let it run all the way to the end of classes for sure. Probably a little bit longer. So that's just whatever, tentative course calendar. And okay, let's go back over here. See what's next. Exams. All right. Now, exam 1 is going to be the only exam where you're going to have the questions provided in advance. And that's what this PDF file right here is. So this one, you're going to open that file up. You're going to work all those problems. You're 20 or maybe 25. Can't remember. Oh, we can look and see, can't we? That's 25, yeah. Okay. So you work those out, but you go back over here. Then when you're satisfied that you're done, obviously you got to get them done before the deadline. You will go into the exam, and so you see you won't see it lit up. It'll light up for you. You'll see this on 9/19. But now you can see this right now though, so you can always look back at this video if you want to and see these dates. So it's going to open up at on September 19th at 7 a.m. all the way through. So what you do is you don't open this up until you're ready to submit all your answers. So I'll click on this for a second. It'll be a little bit different for the other exams. So you just enter them in there when you're ready, but before the deadline. Now this one, so you don't go in and out on this. No, this isn't like, I don't know if you've ever worked with a My Math Lab homework. This is not something where you go in, do a few, go out, do a few, come back later. You got to do it all at once. Now, this only has 60-minute timer, 60 minutes. And the reason why is because you're not actually working. You're not supposed to be working the problems. You're supposed to already have them done. So you're just carefully going through and bubbling your answers. Now, when you do that, I mean, it's 60 minutes is way more than enough time. But be careful because I can't figure out, it's probably going to scramble the answers off your PDF file, but the numbers won't change. The order of the numbers may change. So just be super careful. So have your pages laid out there with that PDF file worked out. So that way, problem 1, when you see it in your test, might be number 16 on the PDF, in other words. But it will be the same problem. It is just likely going to be out of order. So if you just take your time and go through there you got an hour to do it. So it's 25 of them. You should have no trouble. All right. So maybe, actually, I'll tell you what. I'll change this to 120 just to make it 2 hours. That's fine. Doesn't hurt me. And yeah, so so you can be super duper careful there. So, all right. So no passwords for this test. There's the range of dates there. So. Now, exam 2, exam 3, and the final, if we're going to be taking the final, but as I've mentioned, that's optional. I think these are 20 questions. I can double check if you need to know that for sure, but they're less than that first one. They're 20, maybe 19, maybe 21, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, this one, 240 minutes. You have 4 hours. So when you open this up, you need to take the entire exam in one sitting. This one, you will not have the problems in advance. However, you have full access to the notes and everything else, this is going to pop up in a separate window. You can probably open up Blackboard in another browser, another window, have that ready, or to access stuff. So you have full access to all your materials, but obviously you want to be as prepared as possible because you don't want to spend all that time, certainly trying to figure out stuff for the first time. Then you really won't have enough time. Now, sure, there'll be problems you'll be stuck on or something or another, but obviously as many of them as you can do, without based on your preparation would be good, and then there's a few you're stumbling on. So don't take the attitude that I'm not going to study for that test. I'll just figure out these problems as soon as I open them up. Yeah, that would not be wise. So you still want to study, but even though you do have access to all the course materials and whatever you want there while you're taking these tests. Okay. There's the dates for this one that match the calendar. So beautiful. Then we have exam 1, exam 2. So there's exam 3, the final. I haven't really opened that up yet. We'll worry about that later. So that's how the exams are going to work. Course content. This is information on the stat assignment with Excel. We'll worry about that later. What you're going to do is there's a separate video for that shows you. Don't worry about if you've never used Excel before. It won't be hard to work with, and like I said, you can go to the tutoring center and get some help with that. But this tells you what you're going to do. Basically, what happens is you're going to I tell you what to do. You're going to start with this Excel data sheet, and you're going to do some stuff to it, and then you're going to have this file that has the questions that you have to answer. So in other words, you don't submit your spreadsheet. You don't turn in your spreadsheet. You create some information, then you answer these questions. I think there's 20 of them. You answer those based on the spreadsheet you created. Then you go into, I don't know what that answer key thing there is for, but getting rid of that. Might be wrong because I've changed the assignment anyway, so I wouldn't trust that myself. So you enter, so once again, you'll enter them. Then I'll open this up and I'll make an announcement that when it's opened up. But obviously, we don't want to worry about this till the end of the semester anyway, toward the end. So it's not too bad. But like I said, you got a separate video there for that too. So, but don't worry about this Excel assignment anytime soon. I mean, if you want to start playing around with it and create your Excel data sheet, your sheet, and if you want to do that, that's fine. Then you can always just save that file and then use it later. If you want to, that won't hurt anything. But you certainly don't need to spend a lot of time with it now. But I guess it wouldn't hurt if you had some time. You want to see if you can make that could take the pressure off later. If you get it created now, that'll save you some time, when you start answering the questions. All right, back to course content. Lecture, let me move this around. Lecture notes. I've got lecture notes. So lecture notes, I have lecture notes. You see there, so they're organized by exam 1, exam 2, exam 3, which also matches my, calendar. See the different colors. And so I think I've done a decent job, of keeping everything not too confusing. So you come in here, you open up that folder, and hey, what's going to be exam 1? Well, there they are. There are those 5 sections. Oh, and this basic terms and definitions. That's because I think there's a couple of questions maybe on the exam 1. Of course, that's the one you're working on in advance anyway. That comes off this list. So I just move that up to the top. So that's it. Yeah, you just click on it, and there you go. Let's see what else we have. Videos. I'm not sure if I have an entire set made of course videos. I do for a lot of it. If not, I'll see what I can do about, completing it. I can't promise just yet that they're all there for the first exam at least anyway, so I can look at it down the road. There's YouTube videos, so you can get a lecture out of it if you like. That's only if you need it. And this is, I won't even bother opening this up, but this is a PDF of an old textbook. That's the section numbers that are matched in my notes there. That's once again, that's just if you want to look at that, fine. If you're good with just my lecture and the lecture notes and video, that's fine too. And I even have just some practice problems if you want to. None of that's required, but if you want to practice a little stuff out of that book on those sections, that's okay too. Sample exams. These are your exam reviews. So what we have here, like this is for exam 1. So this is the actual original file of questions. These are questions, so it's good to try to see how many of these you can do yourself. There should be a key at the very end of it, just an answer key. And there's not. Well, I'll see what I can do about that. But anyway, you might not need that, because if we go back over here, I have the worked out solutions to. Usually I put a key at the end of the original there, so I'll try to, if I remember to do that, I will. But here's, I don't know why that's called quiz 1. Don't worry about that, but it's kind of cut and pasted a little bit there. But it's the worked out solutions. Yeah, I'll see what I can do about that answer key. Usually I like to have students be able to, if they want to check their answers, before they come here. But I got all these worked out, so there we go. So we got that going on. And so I got it for exam 1. The one for 3 has been... I'll have to look into why I have these additional problems for exam 2. I guess I could open those up, or I'll look at them and make sure there's not something that's confusing in relation to what the file that's already here. If I think it's useful, I'll move it in there, back there for you. But there's exam 1, 2, and 3. So you got sample exam, review problems, all that good stuff. So there you go. It's not too hard to navigate your way through this. Charts and tables. There's some things that we're going to need a little bit later on in the course. These 3 things right here. No, actually, I need to revise this a little bit, but don't worry about that. I'll take care of that myself. But yeah, okay. Third one needs to go. I need to replace it with something else. But you won't need those until you get to the stuff in chapter 5 on the second exam. But it's a chart where you have to look up some numerical values off of like that. So that's there for you. All right, let's come down here. Let's see what else. Charts and tables. That looks like that's about it. So other than a few things I need to revise as we go, fix a few things here and there. And we're good to go here. So obviously, send me any messages, but hopefully this will help, a little bit if you weren't sure kind of where to proceed. Hopefully this will help get you going. So I hope we have a great semester together. Good luck.